You talked about Live Until I Die, but you've had tons of hits, tons of albums. Is there one song that is more special to you than other songs?
Live Until I Die is more special to me because it is my autobiography. I mean, I've written a lot of songs, and all of them mean something special. Or they wouldn't have gotten written, or they wouldn't have gotten recorded. But that's just that was my humble beginning, and every night that I do that on stage, I can still smell the blackberry cobbler.
What are some of the other songs that you just love performing?
I love singing the songs that have the big ranges. Like This Woman, This Man, or Fall, or even What's It to You. Those songs they're not easy, and it's a challenge. There are a lot of songs that are kind of easy to sing, but that are still great. It doesn't. I mean, how difficult they are or not to sing does not make a song great. It's what's the message, and who loves it. How does it affect someone? But for me, I love that challenge. And you got to rise to the occasion every night. And there are, speaking of nuances, I mean, I stretch my range out from the lowest note I can hit to the highest note I can hit, and it's it's kind of like stepping up on a 100-foot cliff and go, I know I'm going to jump off and there's water down there, but how am I going to land exactly? Am I going to do a belly flop, or is it? Am I going to break the water just right? And that's what it is for me. And so those kind of songs really get my juices flowing.
So, writing music and performing music live, touring, are two different universes. When it's time to write a new album, what is the process you go through?
There are some pieces of the process that are going to be the same for everyone, and then there's those flavors that you add to it, that are, you'd call that authenticity. Um, for me, everything starts with the song. You it doesn't matter how good you sing. It doesn't matter if you sing like Celine Dion or you sing like Elvis or whoever you sing like. Um, you can take a great song and an average singer, and you can have a superstar. You can take a great singer and an average song, and you have nothing. So the song is the most important piece. It's the message. It's the people that listen to music most of the time, they want to find themselves in that song. So I feel like by being a common person like I am, and the way I grew up and the way I still live, that I'm relatable. That I'm not writing from an ivory tower. I'm writing with my boots down on the ground. So the writing piece of it is the most important part. And if you can't write them, then you need to find songs that do what I'm talking about, that speak to a person's heart. And it's not about being clever. That doesn't get it. People feel and internalize things. And then the other important piece, and I think that this is just something that, and I'm going to use a big word here, ineffable. There are no words for this that really accurately describe it, but there is something in a singer's voice, in what's going to make them famous. People listen. They hear this thing I'm talking about, and it hits their tuning fork just right. And that's when you have the magic. And you can't fake that. You can't produce that into a song. It's either in that singer's voice. It's the only thing that will perpetuate an artist's career. You cannot have a long career without that piece I'm talking about. You can have a big hit, but you're going to disappear. If you don't have that thing, longevity starts and ends with that unspeakable thing that hits that tuning fork in the individuals.
Okay, but you could have that and not have longevity. You know, you're in an industry of one-hit wonders,
Now the truth comes out.
and but you've been at it for 30 years, 3 decades.
Yep.
In an industry of one-hit wonders. You know, every year we see people have one hit and we never hear from them ever again. Yes, I believe there is a gift, but there has to be other ingredients that go into an enduring career like that. What are those other ingredients?
Are we sure we want to see the wizard? It's the business part of it is it's the unknown to the public, you know, and for there are what we call kingmakers in every business, in politics, and for music, it's much like politics. It is politics. There's a handful of gatekeepers or kingmakers in Nashville, and you know you're either in that circle or you're a one-hit wonder.
What about the work ethic? What is the work ethic required to
No,
endure for 3 decades in an industry like this?
the work ethic is it's you're either a workaholic in this business or you are gone. I mean, you better have the appetite to work your ASS off because there's another guy or girl right behind you willing to do it. And so it's you become a slave to the business, and but it's we're all slaves to something, you know. We all are.
Obsession is good.
Yeah, and but you have to have a team. Like this is a team sport. This is not an individual sport. This isn't golf. You know, this isn't tennis. This is a team sport, and you better have every position filled, and it better be a team, or you can't make it. When you see an artist who's risen to the top, you can bet that they have the best team in place, and you know, so that the artist can go do what they love doing. You can't fake it to the audience. If I had to do all the stuff that my team does, there's no way I could deliver on stage. Couldn't do it. There'd be too much stuff, too much fill in the coconut, you know. And you need to, and the team's got to know I can't put that on the artist, you know. But there's definitely minutia everywhere, and you have to have that whole team. I mean, I look at it like football, like American football. You got to have the quarterback. That's what I consider myself, quarterback. Tom Brady. No. you gotta have the quarterback. You gotta have the coaching staff. You gotta have the defensive line, the offensive line. You gotta have all of it, and then you gotta have the game plan. And then when that game plan is not working, you have to have plan B and C and D. You gotta have all the plans, and you gotta execute them as well.